Hello, this is Embroidery, and in this video I'm going to be doing embroidery while rambling. And just as an FYI, this is not an instructional video on embroidery in any way. For today's project, I actually don't even know what I'm working on because I'm recording the audio first this time and then record the video second. So just jumping into rambling, do you know what sugar waxing is? Sugar waxing is supposed to be a gentler alternative to traditional wax. Sugar wax is made of lemon juice, water, and sugar. Just 3 ingredients, or at least the tutorial I found on YouTube was just 3 ingredients. There's a girl called A Between that does a very nice, easy to understand tutorial on sugar waxing. But basically, I learned about sugar waxing maybe a year ago, sometime last year, maybe the beginning of last year, middle of last year. I can't really remember. But I got into sugar waxing because I used to go to like a traditional waxing salon. It was for a very brief period in my life. I think it was just like a 1-year period, but I would go every few months, and it costed $20 to get a full Brazilian for the bikini area. Also, why is it called a Brazilian? But anyways, I would do that to just remove all the hair from the bikini area. But I felt very awkward doing small talk to someone while they're like waxing my vagina. I guess I should just call it bikini area because vagina is like just a hole. But anyways, I'm just someone who's not very good at doing small talk. Even when I get a haircut, I feel so awkward trying to carry a conversation with them. And yeah, so that I kind of didn't like, even though that's just like very basic common human interactions, but I don't know, I'm very bad at that. And another thing I didn't really like was I just didn't feel like spending $20 every time I wanted to get waxed. And so after going consistently for I think less than a year, I just stopped and then just stopped waxing altogether. And many years later, I guess until last year, I started looking into can you do waxing at home and stuff, and people were mentioning sugar waxing. So I decided to look up tutorials on sugar waxing on YouTube. And so I watched the A Between girls videos and I tried it out myself, and I just used sugar, water, and lemon juice. I didn't have a thermometer, so I just kind of estimated it based on the color while it was boiling inside of the pot. And the first time I tried using the wax, I tested it on my underarms first because I needed to kind of figure out the technique I was gonna use. And if it was gonna be something that's crazy painful, I would have rather tested it somewhere safer first. And I don't remember completely, but I think it was pretty messy and chaotic the first time I tried it. And once I kind of got the technique down, I was like, okay, now it's the scary part, which is doing the vulva, I guess. And I remember when I was trying to work down there, it was so like, I didn't know how to position everything. So it's like, because you have to be holding your skin taut, and then it's like your lips are like just flapping around. And so I would be trying to wax, and then the wax would cool down, and I would have to reheat it again and then continue. And it was a very long process my first try. But surprisingly, even though I didn't know completely what I was doing, overall, sugar waxing was actually less painful than when I went to get waxed at a salon, because for when I did my underarms, it like barely hurt at all, and when I was doing the vulva, It hurt, but it was a tolerable amount of pain. I think one thing that's very important is that you have to make sure your hair is kind of trimmed down. So it should be short, but not super, super short because you still want the wax to be able to hold on to something, but you want it kind of on the shorter side. And I think it makes it so the wax could you'll get a cleaner pull from it, basically. And if your hair is too long, like last week, I actually sugar waxed myself. And that time I didn't trim it as short as I should have. And then it was pulling on the hair in a painful way. And that time it hurt. But I only tried sugar waxing myself 4 times so far. And my tries 1 through 3, they were not that painful. And it sounds very, very strange. But on my second and third try, because it was like not that painful, and you're just kind of, it almost feels like you're working on a project or something. So it almost felt therapeutic, even though it sounds kind of crazy because when you think about waxing, it sounds like something very horrible and painful. But yeah, it was just my fourth try, my most recent try, that felt horrible. So just a very important tip when you're going to wax yourself is that you have to make sure not to hesitate with your pulls. Like you have to be very confident when you're pulling the strip. Oh, I didn't mention, but I think you could just use the wax alone and pull the hair, but me, I was using like cloth strips to stick onto the wax and then you pull. But anytime I hesitated was when it was painful, but if you give it a nice clean shop, then it really doesn't hurt that much. It's very, very tolerable, I think. Or at least for myself, it's quite tolerable. Oh, and I think A Between had a video where she kind of talked about Brazilians and giving yourself a Brazilian, but I think for her, she was standing while doing it. But for me, I didn't know how to do it standing. It was just, I like to be able to see what's happening down there. And so for me, I would just, if you have like a mirror, a big mirror, maybe like a mirror on the wall or something, I just sat on my butt and just spread my legs in front of me, and then I just worked like that. So I had to do it seated versus the other girl who was doing it standing. Maybe doing it standing would be easier for you, but I guess it would be up to you to experiment if self-waxing is something you're interested in. And I kind of mentioned it earlier, but it's very, very, very important to be holding your skin taut, because if you're pulling the wax strip while your skin is loose, it's gonna hurt more. So I would say make sure the hairs are on the shorter side, hold your skin taut, keep it like tight and smooth, and be very confident with your pulls. Oh, and something related to my most recent try, my fourth try, please, please check the temperature of the wax before using it, because my first 3 tries, I had the problem where the wax kept cooling and then I would have to reheat it, which is okay. And I actually was heating it with a water bath. So basically, I would get a bowl of water and then make the bowl of water hot, and then I would place the jar or whatever inside the bowl so that it would like kind of slowly heat up the wax. But then on my fourth try, I actually microwaved it, the actual jar itself, and I microwaved it for, I think it was like 30 or 40 seconds. I can't remember, but I was so dumb. I should have checked the temperature first, but I'm so stupid. So I got the wax, and then because the jar itself was like, I thought it felt okay. And then so I put the wax onto, is it called the pubic mound. It's like the part that's like underneath your belly button, kind of. Anyways, I put wax on myself and I burned myself, and now I have a horrible burn scar that is, for some reason, the shape of a J. So please, please check the temperature of your wax before putting it on yourself so you don't burn yourself with caramel, basically. So now I'm just waiting for that scar to heal, and it's a lesson learned for myself, I guess. So that's my little chat on sugar waxing and my experience with sugar waxing. I think I definitely prefer doing it over traditional wax. I mean, I never tried to do traditional waxing on myself, but I like that sugar waxing, I could do it at home and it doesn't seem to be as painful as when I went to the salon. I hope that this was kind of interesting to listen to. I do wonder if any of my videos are interesting to listen to, but if you listen this far, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!